Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. Today we have another super exciting and educational video for you. Since we work in the premier luxury secondhand market, we are seeing bags every single day in every single condition coming into our store. So, you know, having done this 10 years now, I have seen bags that are either brand new, like new, well used, and all of the way to trashed. So these are tricks that I have picked up doing everything that we have done that will help you not only take care of your bag, but most importantly, get the best resale for it when you have outgrown it, when you no longer use it. So without further ado, if you want to know how to take care of your bag, then this video is for you. So let's get started. So today I'm going to be demonstrating 10 different tricks and tips that we've picked up, and we're going to start with my personal bag here, the Louis Vuitton Neverfull MM, and this is in Damier Ebene. So the trick number one here, guys, is going to be to avoid using perfumes, lotions, and any chemicals when coming in contact with this bag. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't use lotion, that you can't use perfume. You just have to be careful on how it is applied. So a lot of girls are ready to go leave the house. They'll put their bag on, they'll run to the bathroom, and they will spray themselves. Do not spray perfume directly on the bag. So I know that this comes as a little bit of like basic information, but I'm surprisingly shocked that this is not common knowledge. So if you are spraying perfume on here that has alcohol, it is definitely going to do a few different things to the bags that I have seen. Number one, it's going to dry out the canvas and it is going to cause it to crack. It will also soften the leather trim and it will cause it to flap. So this bag is in like new condition. I definitely take care of the bag, so that's why I can kind of demonstrate a couple of these tips on this bag. So it'll make the top trim and all of the leather super, super soft, so it'll start getting really saggy. If you see girls and their bag is like super, super soft, it is definitely a combination of lotion and perfume. So you always want to avoid immediately putting lotion and grabbing your bags, and then also putting lotion on the bag. So if you, let's say, lotioned your arms and you put this on your shoulder and you're constantly rubbing against it, you're going to get lotion all over the bag as well as the handles and the trim. So avoid using perfume, avoid using lotion directly on the bag. If you're going to use perfume, just make sure to spray it on yourself. Maybe if you wear your bags on your left, you can spray perfume on your right side. That is one trick in regards to perfume. In regards to lotion, try to apply it and have your body absorb it before you use your bag. So that is the number one trick to avoid lotions and perfumes. All right, so tip number two is going to make sure that you guys have an interior pouch. It doesn't have to be designer. This is actually my personal one. This is the one that I travel with. This is my Longchamp makeup bag. I think this is around $50. This is where you should keep anything that is going to stain your bag. So my tip number two is to get an interior organizer pouch. This is going to be something where you put your pens into, where you put your lotions into, where you put your chapsticks, your lip glosses, your lipstick. So that is where I keep my lotion, my lip gloss, lipstick, and again, like I said, a pen. What that will do is if it explodes in here, if your lipstick opens, it ruins a $50 item. It does not ruin a $1,000 purse, a $2,000 purse. So these tricks and tips could apply to every single designer bag or even non-designer bags. You have a bag that you love. This will keep it so that you can take care of it and it looks newer longer. So anything that could spill, anything that can stain, even me, I ruined my personal bag by having a pen just come undone and completely stain the inside. And although I like to say that I take care of my bags, that was something that was really new for me. So get yourself an interior pouch. It doesn't have to be designer. It doesn't have to be expensive, but it's going to keep your bags looking new longer. All right, so my third trick and tip is going to be to make sure you put an organizer in your bag. Now, some of you are against organizers or don't like the shape of it. you don't have to use it every single time. I actually have days where I don't want such a structured bag and I take it out, and there are days where I put it in. Now, an organizer comes in handy if you are going to soccer practice, cheerleading practice with your kids, you are running errands, you're going to the movie theater and you have candy and sodas in there. That's fine. An organizer is going to be that extra layer of protection if your water bottle comes undone and spills all over. So it is, again, a $20 to $50 investment that is going to protect your $1,000 bag. So this will apply across every single bag as well, but an organizer on top of that is going to keep your wallets, your sunglass case, your phone from on the interior scraping against the side. So if you see a lot of scuffs on the interior lining, a lot of that time is that your wallet, the actual color on it, has rubbed against the interior lining. So having an organizer is just going to keep your bag not only organized, but it's also going to keep it clean and from having items rub against the lining. So that is going to be my third trick on how to protect your handbag. My fourth trick and tip is going to be to avoid overstuffing. While you definitely want to, put your laptop in here, your iPad, all of your gadgets, that's fine, but just keep in mind to not consistently use this as a laptop bag. So although the weight of the Neverfull has been tested for, whatever, there's all these YouTube videos on how much weight this could sustain, that doesn't mean it's good for the bag. So I have seen handles that the strap drop has actually come down longer and this has stretched. So how does that affect your bag? So it'll actually crack the glazing here. It'll cause them to break over time. It'll stretch the leather. It'll make the leather weaker. So avoid overstuffing your bag. So a really easy way to do this, if you are going to travel, you are going to put your laptop or your iPad, I always just sit this on top of my roller suitcase. So that way, if it does have a laptop and all of that in it, it isn't for long periods of time. It might just be from when I'm lifting my overhead suitcase into the, overhead bin, and then I just have to carry it to my spot. So I personally do not carry a laptop in my Neverfull. I do carry my iPad. I have the 5th generation. It's not that heavy, but avoid overstuffing. So if you do that, it's going to protect your leather from pulling. So this applies to any single bag. If it's a crossbody, if it's a tote, although it could carry the weight, it's going to affect the corners and the handles. So definitely avoid overstuffing your bags. My 5th tip for you is for you to clean your bag in between uses. So I use my Neverfull for, let's say, a week straight, and then I'll put it down. When you are done doing that, just make sure to take everything out from the inside. I know some people like to leave lingering notebooks or some miscellaneous stuff, but don't do that. In between uses, just make sure to take everything out. I always just literally put it upside down, grab the corners, give it a good shake. You can also use your dust bag. The way that I use the dust bag is just go on the inside and get all that little lint and stuff out there. So the more that you clean your bags in between uses, the more that it's going to last. So all that residual food crumbs or any kind of lint and stuff like that could definitely, hurt the bag in the long run. All of the receipt papers, everything that you can leave might bleed onto your handbags, especially if you have like an Azure Neverfull that the interior is white. Receipts deteriorate over time. You don't know the condition that it's stored in. Anything can happen, right? If you have it in your closet and you have a roof leak, anything can happen. So just make sure that in between uses, you just empty it out, give it a good clean on the inside, make sure it looks good, and then put it away for your next use. This brings me to my 6th tip. Make sure that when the handbag is not in use, that it is properly stored. Now, this is such a multi-complex point here, right? So this brings it to a lot of questions. So do not store your bag in a car. So if it's 80, 90 degrees outside. The inside of your car is 100, 120 degrees. The extra heat is going to cause your glazing to melt, the canvas to crack. So make sure that it is stored in a temperature controlled environment. So in your closet where you have your AC at 74 to 76, it is perfect. Do not make it so that it is so hot in your house. If you have multiple homes, let's say, and you leave this in your vacation home that you don't run the AC while you're not there, those are things that can actually affect the condition of this bag. So make sure that all handbags are stored in temperature controlled environments and that you store it properly for its shape. So if you have a Neo Noe, that's a really structured bag. So you have to put bubble wrap, you have to, take off the strap, tuck it in. If not, you could deform the base. So same thing with, let's say, a Neverfull. The proper way, or how I would recommend that you store it, would be with a pillow inside, or if you shop on Amazon, that bubble wrap is perfect. Just stick it inside, stick it in the dust bag. Now, this is such a hot topic of discussion, but everyone is obsessed with the Louis Vuitton boxes. They love the boxes in the closet and keeping, the bags in boxes. If you actually go to the Louis Vuitton store and ask them how to store the handbags, they will never say inside a box because it does not allow the handbag to breathe. So the proper way would just be in the dust bag. If you have the box, that's great. Store it just sitting on top of the box if you want the box to look good in your closet. But storing it in the box is going to cause the purse to suffocate and not breathe, and it can cause a lot of canvas cracking, melted glazing, a lot of issues. So if you take care of your bag and store it in a proper climate, stuff it, and don't store it in the box, those are 3 quick and easy ways to make sure that your investment is protected. There are a lot of cleaning products on the market, a bunch of different manufacturers. I personally don't use any of them. I know customers that have, I know friends that have, but to me, every time I have seen them down the road, it causes a lot of issues, which brings me to my point number 7. The absolute only thing I recommend are non-scented, alcohol-free baby wipes. Now, this does not mean to literally go crazy and use baby wipes on absolutely everything, but if there's a smudge here and there, you rubbed something against, the canvas, it is just super easy to just, baby wipe it, but do not use baby wipes on leather. If you want to, it definitely works, but it does dry out the leather a little bit. If you have something vintage, you have something that you don't really care if it turns a darker patina, then you can definitely use baby wipes on whatever you want. But I personally do not use Brasso, I don't use saddle soap, I don't use any products, I just use baby wipes. I have ruined bags in the past from using products. I have seen how they look after being protected or cleaned. And I personally have found that it turns the patina darker and it dries out the leather. Although you could condition it later, you are changing the original look of it and as well as the longevity of it. So the only thing I recommend would be my tip number 7, unscented, alcohol-free baby wipes. My tip number 8 for you is to avoid rain and extreme climates. So although you're seeing me holding this Damier Ebene Neverfull, you're like, wow, it's like an all weatherproof bag. I had this for the rain, what do I do? So you could get a bag like this and it could definitely withstand getting wet. But what I mean is don't take your designer handbag consistently out in the rain, consistently out in the snow. And this is something that not a lot of people know, but again, because I'm in the resale business and I have come across all of these bags. But if you're in a climate like Arizona or Nevada that is really, really dry, I hate to say this, it literally breaks my heart, but I have seen so many bags with cracked canvas, melted glazing just from the climate in Arizona. So I'm not saying if you live in Arizona or Nevada for you not to have a designer bag. I am just letting you know that the resale might be heavily affected by the climate that you live in. It's so dry that like it really kills these bags. Even if you're, doing our other tip, which is temperature controlling it in the house, it's when you go outside and it's so hot, it really is affecting the bag. So Quick tricks to do that is you can buy a poncho on Amazon. They're around $10. It doesn't take up more than like this much space. I'm gonna actually leave one linked below in the comments for you. You just tuck it in the pocket here, and if it rains, you just throw a poncho on this and it's going to protect your bag. So if you had one that was vachetta, if you had anything else, avoiding rain is really important. Now, it does not just affect the bag. So for example, I'm wearing a black t-shirt and it starts raining and I run to the car. You don't know if my t-shirt, when it's wet, if it's going to rub against the handbag. So the rain doesn't just affect the bag, it affects my clothing on that bag. So it could actually be that my black shirt bled all over the bag. So if you had something like a Zor and you were caught in the rain and you're wearing new denim or newer denim that you might have washed, it could actually rub up against this. Let's just say this was a Zor. So I would avoid rain, I would avoid snow, just based on the fact that it could definitely ruin your designer handbag. So that brings me to point number 9, which is to avoid brand new clothing. Anything that is a bright color, anything that is a darker color, you don't know how it will react against your designer handbag. I actually was wearing my Chanel Urban Spirit backpack, the one I have in a previous video. I'll leave it as well linked below. I was wearing a black romper that I had actually washed about 3-4 times. It was not new, and I actually got transfer all over the back of the bag. Luckily, I was able to, with just baby wipes, fix it, but it could have ended a lot worse. So definitely avoid new clothing. If you are unsure how that denim or that black piece of clothing or that red piece of clothing is going to do, just don't wear it. I know it might look really great with that bag, but how upset are you going to be if it ruins your designer handbag? So just avoid dark colored clothing, avoid bright colored clothing, and avoid new clothing. Brings me to my last point: rotate your bags. So if you want this handbag to look good for a really long time, you guys, this one right here, guess how old it is? 6 years old. I've had this for 6 years, looks brand new. Look how stiff the leather is, not even broken in, and the trick to doing that is just to rotate them. Now, I am not saying to go out there and buy 1,000 designer bags and have one for each day of the week. I am just saying, if you listen to every other trick and tip, then you can just rotate this. Now, you're going to Disney World, you're going to have water rides. Don't take this in wet climates, right? You're going to Arizona, you're going to the snow. Don't take your designer bag to those extreme climates. So if you rotate your bags, it doesn't have to be designer. You can use a Longchamp, you can use whatever. As long as you rotate your bags, it will look newer, longer, and then you will have a cheaper cost per use, and then you'll get the most out of your resale. So this bag right here retails for $13.20 right now with a pouch. So around $1,400, let's just say, with tax out the door. If you take care of this bag, it's not stained, you haven't, worn lotion, perfume on it. If it looks like this with the pouch, you can be getting $1,200 to $1,300 on your bag. So that makes it a really, really, really low cost per use. So as long as you take care of your designer bags, then it is actually super, super affordable to own them. All right, guys, so I hope that you liked this video on the 10 tricks and tips on how to take care of your designer handbag. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up below and make sure to subscribe to our channel. We're doing videos like this about 2 times a week. Would love to interact with you, so drop us a comment. I'm also going to leave you guys my personal Instagram handle. It's More Luxe Please, and then our business, of course, is Her Authentic. You can see everything we have for sale using hashtag Her Authentic or on our website, herauthentic.com. So thank you so much, guys, for watching this video, and stay tuned for the next one.